I'm on day number 4 of the 12 days of MLB rankings. It's all kind of getting mushed in my head because this is so much baseball, so many rankings in such a short amount of time, but that's what we do for the 12 days of MLB rankings. We come at you with rankings every single day, 12 days leading up to Christmas, and then with the top 50 players on Christmas Day. So if you guys do appreciate it and you're excited to see the third base rankings today, drop a like on the video. This is a big overhaul, and I do appreciate all the support that you guys are showing me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the rankings coming at you over the next 8 days. I think that's how math works. Get in the comments down below. Of course, this is just my opinion. It's not fact. I want to hear what you have to say. Try and change my mind. If you disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. And last but not least, make sure you drop me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMark. Links in the description down below as always. Starting us off at the bottom, Ruiz of the Baltimore Orioles coming in at number 30. Ruiz is just not that great of a third baseman, and in a loaded third baseman class in Major League Baseball right now, he comes in as the worst one for me. Doesn't hit for power, doesn't hit for average, doesn't get on base, doesn't play a good third base that well. Ruiz is not really a bad player, and it's not like he can't get better. It's just with all the talent at third base, I like my other options, which is why I have Baltimore Orioles third baseman Ruiz coming in at number 30. At number 29, man, Carter Kieboom of the Washington Nationals. This is a guy I've never really been a huge believer in, but the 44 games I've seen of him have made me even less of a believer. Doesn't mean he can't be good, it's just I haven't seen him be good yet. Besides the 1 year in AAA where they were using the MLB balls in the PCL, he hasn't done much. 44 games, 2 homers, a double, and 11 RBIs, a 181 average with a 309 on base, 232 slugging, 541 OPS. Glove isn't anything to brag about either, where it completely outweighs the hitting that has not shown up. I got Carter Kieboom at number 29 right now. For the 28th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, American League Central Detroit Tigers, Isaac Paredes. Paredes has not been that good, but he is so young, and he is super talented. He's put up great numbers in the minors. I think you get him a little bit more time in the majors, we could see more out of him, but right now he's in that same conversation of Kieboom, as small sample size hasn't performed. 2020, he played in 34 games, 1 homer, 4 doubles, 6 RBIs, a 220 average, 278 on base, 290 slugging, 568 OPS, just a little better than the guys that we previously mentioned. Super young, only 22 years old. I expect him to be better in 2021. 28th though right now based on what I have seen. Which leads us now to the 27th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, and I've got Luis Urias of the Milwaukee Brewers. Urias, of course, came over to the Brewers in a trade with the Padres last year that got him Grisham and Zach Davies, and it looks like they're going to be losing this trade a little bit. Urias has never been that great of a hitter. He's always been a glove first guy, but I expected the offense to get there a little bit more, and in 2020, we just didn't see it. He's now played in 124 games in the majors, 6 homers, 13 doubles, 40 RBIs, a 226 average, 315 on base, 320 slugging, and 635 OPS. Those are very below average numbers, especially when you move it to third base. He's got a good glove, but that's kind of it right now based on what we've seen, so I've got to put Luis Urias at number 27. For the 26th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, I got Travis Shaw, who was with the Toronto Blue Jays last season. Travis Shaw is weird. He had that 2-year stretch of 30+ homers a year with Milwaukee, but the last 2 years he's fallen off completely. Now, 2020 was a better season than 19, a 717 OPS, and 6 homers and 10 doubles in less games. But over the last 2 years, 136 games, 13 homers, 15 doubles, 619 OPS, those aren't starting third baseman numbers, and he's not going to be the starting third baseman again for the Blue Jays this year. I don't know who it will be, but it's not going to be Travis Shaw. Still, though, there is potential for a 30+ home run guy there, and that's why I have him a little bit higher than some of the previously mentioned players, but that's about the only reason why. He has power. It might come back eventually, maybe. Number 26. On to the top 25 we go. At the number 25 spot, St. Louis Cardinals third baseman Matt Carpenter. Carpenter had that monster year in 2018, and he has been bad since. 2019, a 726 OPS, and he's not a great fielder, and 2020, it got really bad. A 640 OPS, 186 average, 325 on base. He's still going to walk, but a 314 slugging. I mean, he was just putting up career lows across the board, and that was after a bad year in 2019. I'm starting to think we're seeing the end of Carpenter's playing time in St. Louis, and I fully expect Nolan Gorman to take over at some point, possibly even have spring training, but right now, based on Fangraphs projections, he is their starting third baseman, and based on the numbers that we've seen in defense, he's at number 25. Like, yes, he's got a little pop in that left-handed bat, and he can walk, but that's about it. Carpenter at 25. At the number 24 spot, Texas Rangers got Nick Solak slotting in at third base. Solak had a nice little 33-game stretch in 2019 where he had an 884 OPS, and then an okay stretch in 2020 with a 671 stretch. Together, 91 games in 2 seasons, 7 homers, 16 doubles, 40 RBIs, and 9 stolen bases, hitting 277 with a 351 on base, 397 slugging, and a 747 OPS. Those numbers are just about average. Terrible in the field, though. Absolutely awful, which is why he drops down all the way to 24. He has a decent little bat, but his glove is weak, and you gotta have a pretty good glove to play third base if you're gonna hit average. He just doesn't. Number 24. For the 23rd best third baseman in Major League Baseball, the Michael Jordan number, we're going with Evan Longoria of the San Francisco Giants. Longoria had a little bit of a hot stretch in 2020, and he did play some pretty good defense, and despite not being great offensively, still finished just slightly above average average according to OPS Plus at 97. 7 homers, 10 doubles, 28 RBIs, a 254 average, 297 on base, which is bad, 425 slugging, 722 OPS. Since getting to San Francisco, he's been right below average offensively, and defensively with the glove, he's no longer elite, but he's still okay over there. Longoria, though, at 35 years old, coming to the end of his time as well. I got him at number 23. At number 22, for the Tampa Bay Rays, I ended up going with Joey Wendle. Joey Wendle is a poor man Jeff McNeil. Doesn't hit as well, but he does play a really good third base. He was so good defensively in 2020, and we saw it in the playoffs as well. He's got a great glove. At the plate, 4 homers, 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 17 RBIs in 2020 with 8 stolen bases, 286 average, 342 on base, 435 slugging, 777 OPS. Those are more reminiscent of his rookie season in 2018 than 2019, but overall in the 3 seasons of play, he's a 734 OPS guy with a good glove. At third base, again, where there's a ton of talent, I need to see a little bit more, but still, Joey Wendle on the Rays does what he does perfectly. He's a good ball player. Number 22. Coming in at the number 21 spot, a little bit disappointing, I got Austin Reilly of the Atlanta Braves. I expected big things from Reilly. He's a big power guy, he's a big strong dude, but he just really hasn't hit that well. And 2020 was another disappointing season. He's played in 131 games thus far, 26 homers, which is nice. You know he's got the power, but only 18 doubles, 76 RBIs, a 232 average with a 288 on base. He struck out 157 times, walked only 32, and a 448 slug and give him a 736 OPS. That's below average. Doesn't have a great glove. I'm projecting him a little bit more, which is why he's getting at that 21 range. I know I try not to do a lot of projecting, but I'm waiting for Austin Reilly to get there. He's got the power, he's got the bat. Show it for a full season and he can climb up these rankings real quick. So maybe a little biased because I do like the kid. I think he's a good ball player, but I got him at number 21. Getting the top 20 started at number 20, we got Kansas City Royals third baseman Hunter Dozier. I decided to go with him over Maikel Franco because I think Dozier's better than Franco, and Franco's a free agent. Dozier in 2020, though, didn't have that good of a year at the plate. 228 average, 344 on base, though solid, 392 slugging, weak, 736 OPS. All right, but it gave him an OPS plus at 101 because, of course, KC, not a hitter-friendly park. 6 homers, 4 doubles, 2 triples, 4 stolen bases. Coming off a season in 2019 where he was really good with 26 homers, 29 doubles, 870 OPS. Find him right in the middle there. He's a 780 OPS guy that's above average in Kansas City, and for a guy who's got an average glove and he's a good athlete, I like him at number 20. At number 19, dropping a little bit from last year, I got Eduardo Escobar of the Diamondbacks. Eduardo Escobar has never been great with the glove, but the last 2 years he's had the bat, and in 2020, the bat kind of disappeared, so I gotta drop him a little bit. 4 homers, 7 doubles, 3 triples, and 20 RBIs. He's an extra base hit machine, but the average tanked at 212, didn't walk at all, 270 on base, 335 slugging, which is pitiful for a 605 OPS, which is bad. And if you're not gonna field well, you gotta hit a little bit. And I think this is probably more indicative of the player that Eduardo Escobar really is than what we saw the last couple seasons in Arizona and Minnesota, so I knocked him down a little bit and I put him at 19. At number 18, I got New York Mets projected third baseman JD Davis. Now, JD Davis is not great in the field at third base. He's got a cannon of an arm, but his range is limited. He doesn't make a lot of plays, but his bat's solid. 2019, we saw him play a full season of great baseball, 895 OPS. 2020, a bit of a down year, was hitting a lot of ground balls, and it showed in his numbers. 6 homers, 9 doubles, 19 RBIs, a 247 average, 371 on base, which is fantastic, 389 slugging, 761 OPS, still above average offensively, but again, with the lack of the glove at third base, the hot corner, I can't put him much higher than right about that middle of the pack at number 18. But if he can get that glove up at third base, he is dangerously good because he does get on base and he does have that pop. Next up, coming in at number 17, Seattle Mariners third baseman Kyle Seeger. Kyle Seeger is like the definition of consistent. Every single year he's going to hit around 240, 250, 330 on base, 440 slugging, 770 OPS, and play pretty average defense. That's Kyle Seeger. He did it again in 2020. I mean, 241 average, 355 on base, 430 slugging, 788 OPS. Really nice year for him in Seattle. But he's getting a year older. Again, with the talent at third base, I just can't put him a lot higher because there's a lot of great young players coming up and who showed that they can play, and there's also just a lot of great veterans who put up better numbers than him. 17's a good spot. He's a good player. It's just that there are legitimately 16 players that are better than him that are really good, which leads us now to the number 16 spot where we're getting into the really good third baseman, and I got Alec Bohm of the Philadelphia Phillies slotting in at number 16. What a season he had in 2020. I was so close to predicting him right as the rookie of the year. He was my preseason pick, real close. This kid's talented. 4 homers, 11 doubles, and 23 RBIs and 160 at-bats, 338 average, 400 on base, 481 slugging, and 881 OPS. Those are phenomenal numbers at the plate. With the glove, not as bad as we thought. He isn't good, but he wasn't as bad as we thought, and he's got a great bat. I'm not excited to see what he does in the following years because the Mets have to play him a lot, and he's really good, but he takes the ball to right field beautifully. He's got the pop in the bat. He's a solid player for sure. Now at the halfway point in the video, at number 15, sticking in the state of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Pirates third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes. Ke'Bryan Hayes is good, and he is a guy who can easily, with a strong season, get into the top 10 next year. I can't underestimate how good he is. Nasty with the glove, always hit for high average, and the power is starting to come. That's scary in Pittsburgh. In 24 games in 2020, 5 homers, 7 doubles, 2 triples, and 11 RBIs, hit 376 with a 442 on base, 682 slugging, and 1124 OPS. Good enough to get him 6th in the Rookie of the Year in only 24 games. Super small sample size. We're not going to overreact, but I think 15 is an appropriate spot. He's got a sick glove. He's got a good bat for average. He has a good eye. He's going to start to hit for some more power. Watch out for Brian Hayes over the next few years. This kid's special. For the 14th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, Shella of the New York Yankees. I slept on Shella. I understand. I thought he wasn't going to be able to do it, but he's shown us now for 170 plus games, he can be a really good player. Defensively, he is a bit overrated though. Yankee fans thinks he's great, thinks he's a Gold Glover. Outs above average says differently. He's about below average. But at the plate, he's been hitting, and I don't think he's a bad fielder anyway. I'll put him right in the middle at average. 2019, 889 OPS over 132 games. That's so solid. And 2020, he continued it. 6 homers, 11 doubles, 30 RBIs, 298 average, 368 on base, 490 slugging, 858 OPS. Those numbers are really good. You'll love that from your third baseman who plays pretty good defense at third. Not the best, but pretty good. I'll admit it. I was wrong about Gio Urshela, but he can't get in that top 10 just yet. The top 10's loaded. He's still a good third baseman though for the Yankees and what they need him for. Coming in at number 13, Chicago White Sox third baseman Yohan Mankata. Since moving to third base, Mankata has improved as a player. 2020 wasn't a great year. 2019 was fantastic, but in 2020 we continue to see him get better defensively, which is nice for him because the hitting is going to come. 2019 finished with a 915 OPS, 315 batting average. He was really good. The strikeouts were kind of high. 2020 he continued to get the strikeouts down a little bit lower, starting to walk a little bit more. 28 walks and 231 plate appearances, which is better than he had in 2019. 6 homers, 8 doubles, 3 triples, 24 RBIs, but a 225 average, 705 OPS, 385 slugging. Those numbers are weak. I don't think he's that kind of player. It was only 52 games. He's super talented, and that's why I have him at 13. I think he's more of the 2019 player than 2020, but if you go right in the middle, that puts him at 13. Still really good though. For the 12th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, heading down south to Miami to talk about Brian Anderson of the Marlins. I stan Brian Anderson. I tweeted about him last year. I thought he was due for a 30-40 season, 30 homers, 40 doubles, and then COVID hit and we got a shortened season, but he was still really good. 11 homers, 7 doubles, a triple, and 38 RBIs in 59 games, 255 average, 345 on base, 465 slugging, and an 810 OPS. Got a pretty good glove, a cannon of an arm, and he just hits. I really like Brian Anderson's game a lot. Going into his 28-year-old season, this is when we're going to start to really see him hit his prime. The power is starting to come on this year even more. Anderson's a really good player. I think he has a chance to get in that top 10 at the end of this year. Keep an eye out on him. I got him at number 12. And then just missing out on the top 10 at the number 11 spot, I got Boston Red Sox third baseman Rafael Devers. If Devers could field, he gets in this top 10, but he can't. He's bad in the field. But at the plate though, he's so good. 57 games, he started off slow, still finished with a 793 OPS, 11 homers, 16 doubles, and a triple, 43 RBIs. He's an extra base hit machine. What is that, 28 extra base hits of his 61 hits on the season? That's gross. 263 average, I said slow start, 310 on base, 483 slugging, 793 OPS. And just to give you a sense of how slow his start was, he had an OPS at 603 22 games into the season and finished with one almost at 800. That's a really strong comeback from him. Rafi Big Scoops is only going into his 24-year-old season. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be fine. Getting inside that top 10 is tough, but he's real close at number 11. Okay, getting the top 10 started at the number 10 spot, Minnesota Twins third baseman Josh Donaldson, who was kept out of a lot of baseball in 2020 due to injury, 28 games only, but 6 homers, 2 doubles, 11 RBIs, 222 average is low, but a 373 on base. He walked 18 times in 102 plate appearances, only struck out 24, 469 slugging, 842 OPS. He's got a good glove. He was one of the best defensive players in 2019, and his numbers in 2019 were off the charts offensively. 37 homers, 33 doubles, 900 OPS, even in a down year, 842 OPS. Donaldson's legit. Even if he's going into his 35-year-old season, I don't think he's going to be a bad player all of a sudden. He's definitely a top 10 third baseman in my eyes. For the 9th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, going to the Windy City to talk about Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs. Now, 2020 is a season he wants to forget about. By far his career worst. 644 OPS, that's all you need to know in 34 games. He was bad. But I'm willing to throw that away because from 15 to 19, he has a 901 OPS. 28 homers, 33 doubles, 81 RBIs, and he played an okay third base. Now, while he isn't necessarily getting better as the years go on, and there's something weird over there, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I don't think he's a superstar, but he is a damn good player, and he's going to be inside this top 10 at the number 9 spot. 2020, I think, is a fluke. 2021, he'll be just fine, especially if they trade him to another team. I feel like he wants out of Chicago, and that might be one of the reasons why he's playing so poorly. Coming in at the number 8 spot, a very underrated player. I say it every year, Justin Turner of the Dodgers. Now, what he did in the World Series was dumb. Don't come out onto the field if you know you have COVID. Besides that fact, he's awesome. 4 homers, 9 doubles, and a triple in 2020 with 23 RBIs, 307 average, 400 on base, 460 slugging, 860 OPS. I mean, since 2014, he has an 886 OPS quietly. People don't talk about it because he's never the main guy on the Dodgers, but he should be considered as one of the better third basemen in the league. Plays good defense, gets on base, hits for enough power, hits for average. What don't you like about Justin Turner? Maybe that he's going to be 36 years old. That's about it. Someone's going to get him to play third base next year, and he's going to be a great pickup, especially because I don't think it'll cost you a lot. Turner's definitely inside my top 10, coming in at number 8. For the 7th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, going back to the NL Central, natural Cincinnati Reds third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Suarez kind of had his breakout party in 18 and 19 where he just put up some crazy power numbers, 49 homers in 19, 34 in 18. And in 2020, while he didn't hit for any average at all, only a 202 batting average, still hit 15 homers with 8 doubles. So he had a 202 average with a 312 on base, 470 slugging, 781 OPS for a awful offensive year for the Reds. Everybody didn't hit there. He's going to be fine in 2021. He's got crazy pop in the bat. Defensively, not great, but if you're hitting 49 homers with 100 RBIs and 930 OPS, don't really care about your defense. You're a top 10 third baseman in my eyes. Got him at number 7. Silly pop in that bat. He's great offensively. Which now leads us to number 6. Just missing out in the top 5, I've got Matt Chapman of the Oakland A's. Matt Chapman is so good. Defensively, arguably the best in baseball. Offensively, that's where his game could use some improvement, but he is still really good. He's the number 6 third baseman in baseball. 10 homers, 9 doubles, and 2 triples in 37 games. 232 average, doesn't hit for a high average. Surprisingly didn't walk last year, but in the past he has. 276 on base, 535 slugging, 812 OPS in what you'd consider a down year for him. With his glove being so elite in Oakland, where defense is important, he's definitely inside the top 10, arguably top 5. You can definitely make that argument. I just think he comes at number 6 because the guys ahead of him do it all. They all do it all. But Matt Chapman is crazy talented, and I got him coming in at the number 6 spot. The dude won 2 platinum gloves. That's gross. So getting our top 5 started at number 5, I've got Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians. And this one's so tough to rank, but third base has gotten even better over the last few years. You can put him anywhere from 5 to 3 to 2. You can make arguments for him. Good in the field, good on the base paths, good at the plate. He's got some crazy pop in his bat, and he showed that in 2020 again, where in 58 games, he hit 17 homers, 16 doubles, and a triple with 46 RBIs and stole 10 bases, hitting 292 with a 386 on base, 607 slugging, 993 OPS. Arguably could have been the MVP, finished second in the voting only to Jose Abreu. He's so good. And the years before that, he finished back-to-back years third in the MVP voting. I don't even necessarily like putting him in here at 5. He's so good, but third base is also so good. Anyways, Jose Ramirez, number 5. He's a beast. He's a freak. For the 4th best third baseman in Major League Baseball, another freak, Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros. Only played in 42 games, kept out of some games, but still pretty good. 6 homers, 12 doubles, 22 RBIs. The average did go down, but again, I think with the Houston Astros players, a lot of them, there was a lot of hecticness around them. There was a lot of controversy. 2021 might not be easier, but I see what Alex Bregman was like in the past, and I know 2017 they cheated. We have no proof of 18 and 19, so I'm not going to count that as they did cheat those years. He still put up good numbers. I mean, he was 2nd MVP voting in 2019, 5th in 2018. He plays a great third base. He's got pop in the bat. He walks. He does everything you want. Walks more than he strikes out. Bregman's so good. 902 OPS for the 5 seasons that he's played, averaging 30 homers a year. That's pretty good in my eyes. Good enough to get him at number 4. And then jumping up all the way to number 3 after an incredible season with San Diego, Manny Machado coming in at number 3. Machado got MVP votes. He finished 3rd in MVP voting, played a great third base again, Silver Slugger. Manny Machado's back. He's motivated, and he's part of that extremely dangerous Padres team going forward in the future. 2019 people would call a down year, but still finished with an OPS almost at 800 and played good defense. And then 2020 he popped off. 16 homers, 12 doubles, 47 RBIs, and even stole 6 bases, a 304 average, 370 on base, 580 slugging, 950 OPS, along with that defense. Ooh, Manny Machado. Disgusting. The Padres are paying $300 million. You play like that, they are getting their money's worth without a doubt. Those numbers played him into this. He was outside my top 5 last year, and right now he jumped to number 3 because with that glove and with that bat, Manny Machado is elite. Next up now is my number 2 third baseman in Major League Baseball, and that's Anthony Rendon of the Los Angeles Angels. So close to getting number 1, but I got him at number 2 right now. Great season in 2020. 9 homers, 11 doubles, 31 RBIs, 915 OPS, hits for average, gets on base, walked more than he struck out, 497 slugging. He's an incredibly good player, and we've seen him now for 4 straight seasons put up an OPS above 900. That's gross at the plate. Like, people don't do that. That's so good. Got paid last year. He's gonna be worth it. He's gonna be a part of that Angels team for a long time. Gonna lead them to a playoff series at some point with Mike Trout and other players. He's incredibly good, and he is the 2nd best third baseman in baseball. The only thing keeping him out at number 1 right now is that glove. The glove is good, but it's not elite like the guy who's at number 1, which I might have just given it away, but coming at number 1 again for the 2nd straight year in my eyes, Nolan Arenado. Now I know what you're gonna say. Look at what he did in 2020. 738 OPS, worst of his career by far. It was 48 games, guys. If you look at 15 through 19, he played 787 games of 937 OPS baseball. Even with OPS plus that takes park adjusted numbers, that's 129 OPS plus. A 300 average, 362 on base. He averages 40 homers and 38 doubles a year with 124 RBIs. I don't care if he plays in Coors. Those numbers are disgusting no matter what. And then you count his glove, which is the best in all of baseball. I know people like Chapman more. I'm picking Arenado still just a little bit better. Outs above average likes Arenado more. I love me some outs above average stats. And there he's disgusting. He's elite. He's the best third baseman defensively, along with his disgusting hitting at the plate. Coors affected all you want. Nolan Arenado is the best third baseman in baseball, and he's possibly on the move this offseason. I can't even believe it. Teams will throw a lot at this guy because he is that talented. And if you want to talk about road numbers and how he doesn't doesn't hit away from Coors. Here's just a little tidbit for you. He still has about an 800 OPS away from home. So he's disgusting in Coors, really good away from home, and has an unbelievable glove. I'll take Nolan Arenado any day of the week. Put him on my team right now. Seriously, do it. Put him on the Mets. I want him. Best third baseman in baseball. So those are my third base rankings going into the 2021 season. Every third baseman from every team in Major League Baseball. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Get a conversation going. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. That really does help out the channel, as well as subscribing so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you, including the rankings. Drop me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMark. Links in the description as always. And third base, that was a big one. There's so much talent there. Like, the top 15 is loaded. I'm sure you guys are gonna have disagreements, so I'm gonna have fun reading this comment section because I do read the comments. But I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up for today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye!